I think it's important to understand, especially when it comes to your faith, that a life surrendered is a life changed. My name is Allison, and this is my story. My story isn't anything dramatic. I was never addicted to drugs, alcohol, sex, pornography. I grew up in what you would call a regular family. My father was a police officer and my mom was a nurse. I really had no need for God in my life. My family went to church regularly, but it was more of a religion and definitely not a relationship. As I grew older, I went to college and I began to search for something more. There was just this void that I felt that I needed to fill. I had no idea what that was. At the time, I was finding my value in my education and in my friends. I started attending church with my college friend, Tim. We tried out several churches until we came across the Blended Church in 1999. We started attending regularly, and I was still not really interested in having anything to do with God. It was more that I just went because Tim was going. Unfortunately, tragedy struck one of my close co-workers. Her son was killed in a tragic car accident, and I ended up going to the funeral. When I went to the funeral, it completely changed my life. Here was someone who was my age, in college like I was, and he was on fire for God, loved Jesus, serving others, getting his classmates saved, and just hearing his personal testimony at his funeral is really when I realized something was missing in my own life. He loved Jesus with such a passion, and I knew I wanted to live my life that way too. So I surrendered my life to Jesus in 2001 and have been living for him ever since. He is so faithful. Even when tragedy struck my own life in 2012, when my father died from pancreatic cancer, it was one of the darkest times of my life. Even though I was so sad and so heartbroken, Jesus still was there and he carried me through. Even when I wasn't faithful to him, he was still faithful to me. If there is someone listening that isn't sure about the whole Jesus thing, I assure you I was there too, and he has never left me or left me hanging. You just have to commit to him fully. I've always had a dream in my heart to one day open up a school. It's something I've had burning in me since I was little. So one day, Pastor was preaching on dreaming. And during this, I was thinking in my head about the dream I had, and I was thinking of all the excuses I could think of. For example, I always said, well, when I'm financially secure, I can do this. Or when I am married and have kids of my own, then I can open up this school. I just used every excuse, and finally I just surrendered that, and this dream just would not leave me. So one day I said, you know what, I surrender, and I stepped out in faith and said, okay, I want to open the daycare up. I took the position of the director of the daycare in the summer of 2015. We opened in August of 2015. I had no kids, no potential kids. It was empty. I was terrified that first year that it was going to fail. I literally was running on my faith in Jesus to help me through. I have such a deep passion for kids, and I get to tell them about Jesus day in and day out.
Jesus loves me.
Every single day. I kept telling Jesus, you know what, this is your dream. If you want this to succeed, the kids have to start coming in. And before you know it, one kid showed up, and then two kids, and now we're 15 months later and there are 20 kids enrolled, and we have 4 kids who come to our after-school program. So the point of my story is to stop searching for your value and other things and just surrender your life completely to Jesus. Jesus is my hope, he's my strength, and in him is where I find my purpose. My life was surrendered and my life was changed. If you have a dream, pursue that dream. My dream is bigger than me. It's been very hard and it's been the fight of my life. But if you can handle this pain, then you can have that dream. So don't give up and never stop fighting. Remember, a life surrendered is a life changed.